Do you have conversations with people with an alternative motive, but to share in communion with another, whether your experience is good or bad, is an amazing thing. But I challenge you to look behind the conversation and find the reason why. Why are you having this conversation? Is it truly a sense of community, a sense of belonging? Or is it something else? Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Evolve with Alana. Hi, I'm Alana. Oh gosh, I've been thinking about this conversation that we have, and my conversations with other people, and finding out that we shouldn't be talking to everybody. We shouldn't be telling people everything about what's going on with us. I say this because in conversation, sharing of oneself, there is this pull, this need to be connected with one another. It is this need for connection, a sharing of ideas and thoughts. But if you're sharing everything, is that what you're really doing? Is that the intent of your conversation? Like, I remember when I would say anything. You see, there was a time in my life in school that I wouldn't talk at all. Wouldn't talk unless spoken to. And then I realized that if I didn't talk, people wouldn't know who I am. So I started talking to everybody, saying anything and everything. But my social status in school never really changed. Do you have conversations with people with an alternative motive? Yes, we know our conversations with our boss are about work, and with our colleagues, it's sort of a connection, a communion, a commiseration sometimes about the work, about life. But I challenge you to look behind the conversation and find the reason why. Why are you having this conversation? Is it truly a sense of community, a sense of belonging? Or is it something else? There were a couple conversations in my recent past that I found that behind them, when they were over, I was deeply unsatisfied with them. Why was I deeply unsatisfied? It's not like there was anything adversarial about them. There was nothing wrong about them. There was nothing great about them either. And that's when I found that I was having conversations to find approval. Have you ever done that? Talk to other people about what you're doing just to hear some approval for it. To say that's a good idea or a congratulations of a good job. Now that inherently is not wrong, but if that's the only reason why you go to that person, that means you've given your power away. You should do those things because inside of you, your soul, your calling, your inner voice tells you to do that. That part of spirit that is whole and holy tells you to do something. Not because someone else approves of it. Another thing that I find that we use conversations for is that we use conversations to put down another, to boast. You see, there's a very big difference between celebration and boasting. In celebration, you want the other to share in the highlight, share in the joyous occasion. And if they have an occasion also to share, it just means more sharing. I find that boasting is a celebration of oneself, and oneself only, in order to put down another, in order to put down and become more important, to be put on another level, higher than the other person. And if the other person has something else to celebrate, we then have a need to one-up them. We've all felt those conversations. We've had those conversations where people just seem to just want to one-up one another. I find that these conversations of one-upping one another and ones of finding approval happen more often. Sometimes they happen by accident. We just see another person and we do not know what to do, so we just sort of default to one of those two, to boasting about our own achievements, or we seek another's approval for what we are doing. But to share in communion with another, whether your experience is good or bad, is an amazing thing. There is a third way in which we try to manipulate others through conversation, and it's through pity. If we share everything about ourselves, it's almost as if, especially when it is not so great, we could be looking for pity. You see, there's a power in being weak, a power in that perception. That power is non-responsibility. You are not responsible for what is going on around you because it is so pitiful for you to have it, to have these bad things happen to you. When we all know that we have the power within ourselves to move forward, to get out of that situation. And I am not saying those situations are not hard. It can be extremely difficult, but you yourself have the ability to move forward. And if you do not physically have the ability to move forward, there are laws for that, for holding people against their will. So in your next conversation, ask yourself, are you having this conversation to be in communion with this other person? To be joyous and connection with them? Or are you seeking one of those other three things? Are you seeking pity? Are you seeking to be above them? Or are you seeking approval? I want to thank you for watching this video. It's a bit of a shorter one. If you like this video, please like, share, and subscribe. And tell me, when was the last time that you actually had a conversation in communion with another? That deep communion of sharing each other's joy and happiness, or maybe sharing in each other's pain and sorrow. And I'll see you next video. Bye.